Hey, how's it going? So, Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa Bryant, is to donate $16 million from the Kobe Photos verdict to Mamba and Mambasita Foundation. Now, a lot of people might stumble upon this and might think, oh, this is an amazing thing, oh, this is going to go to charity, all that kind of stuff, right? But what you need to also understand too, right? Because I think this is a nice thing to do, but you also got to keep in mind this is her and Kobe's foundation, right? This is a charity that she has complete control over what they do with that money, how they spend that money. And personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with her spending this type of money however she wants to. I don't necessarily like the idea of someone basically setting this to like a specific charity that you own, and like it is the reason why I say I don't really like it the way that it's kind of being done is because it's basically a way to pretty much not pay taxes on anything, right? So, like, that's what a lot of these very wealthy individuals do. They create foundations, these charities, to basically be able to pretty much manage money with different tax rules. Now, I don't necessarily think it's wrong, but it is kind of iffy anytime someone ends up doing this. So Vanessa Bryant plans to donate the $16 million verdict she won in her suit against Los Angeles County to the sports nonprofit founded by her husband, Kobe Bryant, a report said Thursday. The widow says she was giving the sum to Mamba and Mambasita Sports Foundation to shine a light on Kobe and Gigi's. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry. The Los Angeles Times reported. So the charity launched by Kobe Bryant after his retirement in 2016 as the Mamba Sports Foundation, a nod to his nickname, the Black Mamba, provides funding and sports programming for young athletes in undeserved communities, according to its website. And here's the thing I think that's a great idea. I think if the money is used to do exactly what it says that they're going to use the money for, that's an awesome thing, right? So the foundation was renamed in 2020 after the 41-year-old NBA legend and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, were killed in a helicopter crash, according to the report. And that's kind of like amazing to me in the sense that like he was such a young guy to be an NBA legend as well, and it's just depressing that he lost his kid and also his life at the same time. Like it's just what a brutal thing. So a federal jury ruled Wednesday that LA County must pay Vanessa Bryant $16 million after first responders snapped and shared grisly photos of the 2020 helicopter crash that killed her husband, daughter, and seven others. The jurors also awarded 15 million to plaintiff Chris Chester, who lost his wife, Sarah, and daughter Peyton in the Calabasas, California accident. From the beginning, Vanessa Bryant has sought only accountability, but our legal system does not permit her to force better policies, more training, or officer discipline. Her attorney, Louis Lee, said in a statement to the paper. Those measures are the responsibility of the sheriff's and fire department's responsibilities that Ms. Bryant's efforts have exposed as woefully deficient, even giving amnesty to the wrongdoers. After an 11-day trial, jurors unanimously found that the LA County Sheriff's Department violated the constitutional rights of Bryant and Chester when they failed to train their employees on accident scene picture sharing protocol. And the thing is, right, the fact that they even have to even have something in place as like a picture sharing protocol for this sort of thing is like, hey, you're a first responder. Maybe you shouldn't take photos of, I don't know, dead people and share it with people. Like, share it with your buddies and stuff. Like, hey, that's kind of like screwed up, okay? So after an 11, blah, 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 in his statement, Lee told the Times that Bryant and Chester brought to light the decades-old practice of taking and sharing photos of accident and crime victims for no legitimate purpose. It is Miss Bryant's hope that this important civil rights case will be put to a stop this abhorrent and callous behavior, he added. During the trial, Bryant and Chester's attorney chronicled how photos of the victims' remains from the crash scene were shared between employees from the LA County Sheriff's and fire departments and seen by some of their spouses. The photos have not been made public, but Bryant, 40, testified that the prospect of the images being leaked made her fear every day of being on social media and these popping up. Which, it'd suck, right? Like, imagine if you ended up losing a loved one and also your kid that you love, right? And people are just gonna like show like photos, videos of their dead body everywhere. Like, I mean, that is some like brutal stuff, right? But again, the reason why we're even commenting about this is because typically the way that people pretty much put money to diminish the taxes on it, or basically to control money in a very tax savvy way, right? Is by going and putting money through a foundation into a foundation or a charity, so that is basically viewed as something different than like your income, right? So I'm not a tax expert. It's just what I've seen what a lot of people with a lot of money do because they are trying to minimize their tax burdens. So let's see some of the comments on this. Let's see. So the taxpayers should pay for the actions of rogue employees, plus the amount for the damage caused is ridiculously excessive. You're 100% correct. These excessive verdicts come general fund monies, which has to be balanced versus other general fund accounts. In English, it means less cops fire teachers, healthcare workers to offset the cost of these verdicts. The other remedy is higher taxes. We all know what excessive taxes do to municipalities. There are no free rides. Is she pledging or donating these funds? Basically, this is like an Amber Heard statement. The thing is, it doesn't even really matter because it's to her own foundation. Let's see if and when the money is actually paid to her. I don't expect that she'll see a dime for at least 5 years, and the damage award will be tremendously reduced as it is not a reasonable sum. I guess the estimated $600 million net worth at the time of his death just wasn't enough to pay for their family needs. It's about promoting his charity. She wants to erase 2003 and 2004. If it was so disturbing, one wouldn't talk about it, let alone make sure other photos are front page all over again. One would demand the firing of those involved, and that is something she is proud enough to have gotten done. What are you talking about, man? The entire purpose of her giving the 16 million to charity is that she did have enough to live on. Vanessa donated to a sports foundation for underprivileged kids. But here's the thing. Vanessa donated it to a sports foundation for underprivileged kids that was started and basically owned by them, right? Like, think about this. So basically, the way that I'm trying to like get this across, right? Let's say that your name is Bob, right? Bob just got awarded $16 million in a lawsuit, right? Okay, so instead of you, Bob, getting that $16 million into directly your bank account, right? And potentially having to be taxed by that or have to deal with like certain regulations and all that kind of stuff with that, right? Instead of that, you decide that you're going to put it into the foundation of Dob, or like not Dob. Let's say the foundation of Bob times two, right? So your name is not there, right? Because your name is Bob, not Bob times two, right? But you're going to put this money and donate it to this foundation that you started, that you have control over the bank accounts, that you have control over everything, called Bob times two. So that you're not getting the money directly, but this foundation, this separate entity that you created, that you have all the control over, has the money, right? But you didn't get the money. That foundation got the money, right? So that's the way that I'm trying to like really like, express it, right? Like that's basically what's going on here, right? Yes, she donated the money to a sports foundation for underprivileged kids. It just so happens that sports foundation is something that she owns. you know? You gotta like keep that in mind. You gotta like understand that. It's like, okay, so it's not your bank account, but you control all the money in it. It's kind of weird, right? It's basically like a vegan saying like, "Hey, I'm going to like get money, right, to, help spread the word or help provide, I guess, very good vegan food, right, to underprivileged youth in a charity using like the $1 million that I got from this, settlement. We're going to put it in there. But oh, by the way, I could pretty much do whatever I want with that money inside there. And you know what? If I don't want to like actually, use the $1 million in there to actually provide vegan food to underprivileged youth, I'm going to just, use that money to buy Gucci or something. Like technically speaking, you could technically do that, right? Because you have complete control over what's going on in that entity. So it's just something to really keep in mind, right? Now, you always got to be careful with these types of foundations, but I'm just saying, technically speaking, that's kind of what is going on, right? So, anytime you see someone basically donating, in quotes, donating money to basically their own charity, you got to be like, kind of odd, right? Now, here's the thing. If I was wealthy enough personally, I would just create my own charity and put my own money into that charity to then basically work on causes that I personally believe in. I'd do that, right? But I don't really like the idea of basically getting awarded money and then putting that money into charity. Like, that seems just kind of odd to me, but whatever. If you want to learn how to get a and master your money, go to 40inbox.com. Feel free to give your own thoughts about this. If you are more knowledgeable about foundations and the taxes and all that kind of stuff, feel free to give your thoughts about this. But to my understanding, that's basically what is going on here, where she basically owns the foundation, basically put money into this foundation that she basically owns, and can pretty much do whatever she technically wants with that money that's inside there because she has complete control over it.